Hello, my name is Brianna Cruz, and this is my inventory management system that I had made up for my logistics class. Now as you can see, I am in a bit of a tight room here, and that's because most of my house is being remodeled, so I had very little room to work with here, and I like to draw, so decided to use some cardboard. But as you can tell, I got a distribution center here that's definitely going to be a little bit on the large side. And because it's on the large side, I needed a system that could be customizable and fit my needs. I needed a system that could run reports to evaluate inventory in a way that I wanted, view detailed information for a particular asset, item, or document. Definitely scan some barcodes via US Cradle, Wi-Fi. Some companies go with 3G mobile. I don't really go for that though myself, just because it's so easy to hack. But I also wanted a system that could be global in nature. In other words, you could be on your company device and you could view your company's inventory from wherever you are. And of course, I want to be able to do some data export via at least Excel, text, HTML. Basically, just export any kind of data that I want to for any particular reason. I also needed to be able to categorize equipment using numerous classifications that can be created on your own. In other words, I wanted a system that could be somewhat customizable. But most importantly, I need an RFID system that could search for assets, items, or documents by location, no matter where you're at in the building. Now, before I go a little further, let me just go over the basic layout of my building here. I've obviously got the receiving area and drop-off area. I got the receipt products shelving area. I have the processed products bin and shelving area. Then I got the forklift storage area, the issued inventory area. That's actually going to be small in quantity. I just like having a little bit extra space just in case I need it. And then you got the non-issued inventory area, which is basically for parts that are not getting shipped out, but are instead maybe going to be utilized by your own building. It might be some extra engine parts for your forklift or something like that. And then I got the offices. I wanted to keep my offices together because research shows that when you keep offices hundreds of yards apart, like what is commonly seen in a lot of civilian sectors, communication can lag. People being people, they can't ignore you, and I wanted to eliminate that by having them basically be in one big organized area. Still wanted them to have space, but I wanted it to be close by as well. So you got your admin offices here, you got their clerks and their ordering computers, you got the senior staff area, and you even have a nice little customer waiting area. And then of course you have the staging area. Now, I was only able to draw this in a limited amount of time, but in each space of the warehouse, you're going to have the capability for RFID scanning. That's because most of the devices that are in this building are going to be the portable kind, which basically looks like that. They can come in the form of your cell phone, a remote control looking thing, or even the scanner that you would normally see at Walmart here. Now, as I said before, the system that I decided to go with was Oracle. But before I get into that, I just wanted to show you a couple other systems that other companies use. You have the Jira inventory management system, and then you have Microsoft, both of which are pretty good for smaller companies, to even mid-sized companies. But I didn't want to go with the system that is essentially best of breed. I wanted to go with a system that is all-encompassing. In other words, you can do everything from it. You didn't have to worry about integrating other systems into it just to get things to work right, because the problem with that is that when you have multiple types of systems tracking an order, and then say you have to cancel one of those orders, one system will track it but the other one won't. So there's always a possibility that that order is still going to come in, and that can happen quite a bit. Those orders add up, they do cost money, and they do cost a little bit of time. But anyways, here's a screenshot of the civilian version of the Oracle system. I actually couldn't find the military version that I was looking for, but this is your basic civilian version. And of course, you can track the task, the service request, You can track all of your customers. You can sync all of your data on all of your devices at the same time. And of course, you got your own personal preferences, your messages, receiving, help, so on and so forth. But basically what it tells you is all the data that your system has right here. Now what you have here is obviously a lot of AT&T parts, computer parts, some microsystems and whatnot made by Sun, which also happens to be a contractor for the military. They make a lot of their microchips. But anyways, this is just a very basic idea of what goes on here. As you can see, communication is a must, and that's not just electronic communication, but it is personal communication. A lot of people say that electronic communication or devices will eliminate manual labor. I actually disagree with that though. Manual labor is still one of the most important things you have to have, because without that, the technology cannot work, because you need a person to operate the technology. Plus, technology does not have human intuition. And in a big company like this, intuition is a necessity. I will say that again, it's a necessity. You've got to have manual labor. Now, what we have over here is just a basic outline of what happens in the supply line. Okay, you got your source of supply, you got your delivery, you got your receiving areas, you got your distribution centers. In my case, I actually decided to have those two in the same building, but a lot of companies will have them separated. You'll have a receiving building, and then maybe miles, or sometimes even about 50 miles away, they'll have their distribution center. I like keeping everything in one spot. And then, of course, you got your own personal inventory, you got your shipping, you got your happy customers. All of that involves accounting, and as it says here, final math is basically tracking plus time plus cost. The more hiccups you have, the more time you're going to take, the more of a cost you're going to take, and you're going to have a very, very unhappy customer. And there is actually one other thing that I want to go over here too, and that's basically the inventory holding costs. Okay, like I just said, holding things, any kind of stoppages and whatnot, it does cost money. You got storing and handling, interest that might be tied up on capital, property taxes, insurance, spoilage. Things do go bad, especially if you're working with food. And if you're not working with food, but say you're working with mechanical parts, like say a forklift, parts do go bad. And then, of course, the more things get held up, the more chances you have of pilferage. So basically, by having a good security system set up, yeah, see it right there, as well as a good inventory system itself set up, you can eliminate all of those issues. But like I said before, communication is paramount. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Bye.